So yesterday we started talking about the origin of Christmas, how Christmas was actually an idea of some Christian leaders to shift or to rewrite the cultural paradigm as a 4th century European or 4th century Roman Empire or 1st century world as at the time. So we've talked about that, and we also see that the goal of Christmas, as at what the church leaders then decided was to provide two things. Number one, a Christ-centered alternative to pagan festivals. And two, to symbolically link Jesus with the light overcoming all forms of darkness. Now, I'll piggyback to the feast that the Europeans, the Roman Empire, practiced then, the Sol Invictus. The feast was actually to celebrate the rebirth of the sun. They saw the sun as a god. They looked up to the sun as they had all these myths and legends about the sun. So Roman mythology actually had a sun god name, and looked up to the sun as a source of life and light and all of that. So on December 25th, they celebrated the rebirth of the sun. But what did Christians do? They looked at this, they said, if these guys are celebrating the rebirth of the sun, and we know that the sun is not being reborn, the sun was not dead and it's not being reborn. But they looked at it and they said, the actual sun that was born is the Son of God. And then they said, actually, this day should be the celebration of the rebirth of the Son of God. The sun that rises over us daily has arisen in our hearts, like Peter talked about. So just like Paul, who went into Athens and saw the gods, and they saw the inscription to the unknown God, and he took it as an opportunity to say, this God that you guys worship without a name, I am here to introduce him to you. So they looked at culture, they looked at what people were practicing, and they turned it to actually reflect the real truth, which is the Christ himself. So the feast was actually to symbolize that Christ is the real light that enters into this world. Like John said in John chapter 1 verse 9, he is the light, the true light that enters and drove away all darkness. And this was a powerful celebration at that time. There were lots of things that happened, when this feast started out. But I just wanted to point that out, that again, as we say, the real symbol of Christmas is to celebrate Christ as the light that has been born, that was born by a virgin birth, immaculate conception, the Incarnation. He was born into this world for our sins to save man. All right. I don't want to go ahead of myself, but we'll look at the purpose of Christmas. We'll look at the meaning of Christmas, and we'll look at how do I prepare for Christmas. All right. We'll look at all the feasts, some of the feasts that the early churches practiced, the Advent, the feast of, different celebrations, and we will, tie it up there. So remember, Christ is the light that overcomes all darkness. Thank you.